Okay, I want to get in here and just make a quick explanation. It's going to be a very basic video, but I want to talk about the issues with training videos through social media like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And why doing things outside of these formats, in my opinion, is still really, really needed. And it's because the way that the current social media systems are set up and they work, if we as the instructor, as the creator, whatever you want to call us, don't create a format of a video that meets what they like as a platform, then who we can even get in front of gets heavily limited. And that's one of my big complaints about working inside of the social media sphere. And I've been doing this for 6 years now, and it's only getting worse in my opinion over time. The further we get into this and the more and more they manipulate their algorithms to feed you content to keep you on their platform, and that's their main focus. They just want to give you whatever it takes to keep you engaged and activated. And anything like for example, anything that we do that makes you want to leave the platform, such as provide a link to some extra resource or training or whatever, on some level we do get penalized for that. And there's strategies to try to avoid it, but it takes a lot of extra work and effort and being on top of it. And this isn't a small thing to do to begin with. So in addition to how much I find that I have to manipulate exactly what I say, how I can say it to fit a format that will work on the platforms. For one big example, um, if I put LinkedIn, all my stuff I try to keep to where I can just share between platforms, and anything extra that I have to specialize to a specific platform just doesn't work for the way that I do things. And um, I need to be able to move quickly. I have a lot of work that I'm trying to get done in building education and content. So that means I need to have a system that works in that. Well, LinkedIn only allows 15 minutes, and Facebook and Instagram, I think, only allow 20 minutes for their platforms for a video. And for some stuff, that's okay. But for a lot of topics that you're asking for, it is really difficult to produce a concise explanation of those things in that amount of time. And there's sometimes we have to cut some information just to stay within that time barrier. So on some of these videos, when you see them publish at like 14 minutes and some seconds, well, that means that we probably, not always, but we sometimes have to make some sacrifices to adhere to the system's guidelines and the platform's guidelines that we work in. And that also, the way we have to present as well. Like there's just so many things that play into how we have to do things as a creator to get it even in front of you, because there's some cases where some people are more interested in entertainment than actual education. And when those people who care more about entertainment try to click in and then it's not entertaining enough right out the gate, they'll move on quickly. Well, that tells the system that this just isn't as good of a video, and then it will give it to less people. And my problem with that is there's probably a lot of you who actually care enough to spend the time. You're not here for just pure entertainment. You actually want to learn something. But you may not, unless you go look for the content yourself, you may not know that that video was ever posted because it was never put in front of you, because a specific group of people uh, wanted a different, they were here for a different reason than you, and they gave the system some feedback that it didn't like because it only wants to give them things that they want to engage with, which is their prerogative. Okay, I get it. They're a business too. They've got to do things that protect themselves. I'm not bashing that. But I am just saying that we have to work inside of that. And it really, it puts constraints on how we can present and what we can present, the way we present it. There's a lot that goes into it. And that's where doing things off platform, whether it be my setup with Chiller Academy or doing Zoom trainings, things of that nature that are not directly tied to it's you choosing to seek the education, not the algorithm deciding if you need this educational video or not. Because that's really what's happening in my assessment, having done this for as long as I have. Unless you seek it out, the system will choose for you whether or not it thinks you should have this. And the only way to get around that is to go look. And so doing these other formats, I'm able to talk and present and go more in depth. And sure, it may be boring to some, but I think to those who truly care, the ones I'm actually trying to talk to the most, the ones who are really engaged and you really want to know what's going on, it's right up your alley, because I'm that way. And so I guess I'm really talking to those of you who are like me, like you're really into this stuff and you want to hear the deeper side of these things and just have some real background and understanding. Anyway, so I think my overall point here is to just express that it is important in a lot of ways to do things off platform that aren't just localized to social media, because of what we have to do if we want to have any success at all inside of the social media's platforms themselves and how they function and work to begin with. That's my point. And I would encourage you to just be aware of these things as you're trying to get education and who you're trying to follow. There may be things that the system may not put the video in front of you because of whatever else is happening outside of your control. And if you don't know it's there, you'll never know to go check it out and to participate and be a part of it and all the stuff. Yeah. Just be aware. That's my point. Be aware so that you can get the training, get the education you need in the way that you need it. With that, MTT, make the time for your family, for your spouse, for your kids. I'll see y'all around.